Joy here with Real Progressives. Sorry, it's a little dark here. We are in the, like a black hole.
We're in the champagne room.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. There's actually a stripper pole that Graham just danced on, and it was hot as fuck. You guys missed it. That's why you guys need to come see their tour.
That's
right
Graham's
now,
closer.
yeah,
Every night.
I mean,
we can only do venues that have a stripper pole.
Yeah, bring
we asked
singles.
him, we're like, do you have a stripper pole? And Graham's like, it's like the venues are like, it's a comedy tour. Why do you? I'm like, don't ask questions.
They sell them at Home
Just
Depot.
can you supply this?
Suspended formula, sell them at Home Depot.
I have one that I travel with. I stick it in my tripod bag, and then, you know, if I get inspired and I see like a really hot punk rock guy or something, I'm just like, oh, where's my pole?
Here's my pole.
So they were kick-ass as usual. We're in Philly right now. They're going across the country. And of course, I've had them both on my show multiple times, and I've been on Ron's show. So we always have a good time. Ron and I don't agree on everything politically.
Oh, okay.
But you don't act like we do. Because sometimes when I have you on the show, you're like when I say something.
I can't think of it for instance, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh yeah, watch it back.
Are you not for net neutrality?
I was like, he invited me to go on that stream and then says, are you against it? Like, so anyway, that was a really good one. If you guys want to check that out, that was really like an amazing stream. There was a bunch of independent media who was asked to do it, as well as some senators and stuff. So Ron and I were both on. It was literally like 8 in the morning till 6 at night. Just to promote net neutrality. It was the 1-year anniversary of the bill. So that was pretty rad. But in any case, so I held these fellas hostage after the show so that we could talk some, because I've never actually had them, you know, had a manwich of both of them. So this is, you know, this is kind of like my dream threesome right now.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of other people here watching, so...
But the red light is on.
Red light is on. So you guys, you know I'm gonna ask you, have you actually endorsed any presidential candidates yet?
I have not. I mean, I when I talk a lot about political vigilante, I say I'm obviously, I really think Bernie has the best shot, and my three are Bernie, Tulsi, and Mike Gravel. I know Mike Gravel is literally flat out said he's just there to pull the party to the left and pull the which I'm all for. So it's some of those three. However this works. My guess is that conversation that Bernie and Tulsi had in January before they both announced was them saying, you know, she's like, I'm going to run, and maybe she said, I don't know how much of a chance I have at winning. And he's like, just get known enough so that when I nominate you for my VP pick, everyone will go, oh, we know Tulsi. And so, because now she's qualified for the first 2 debates, and she's trying to get to 130 to make the third. So that's, that's what I'm hoping happens. I mean, obviously, if you watch CNN, apparently Joe Biden is leading every home phone 90
over 50
over 50 person that they're calling. So they keep trying to say Biden's in the lead, Biden's in the lead, Biden's in the lead, and then they're pitching Elizabeth Warren as a lefty. She's just the most left-leaning corporatist that they have. That's the best that she can do. So.
Yeah, and I kind of echo that. I'm hoping Bernie and Tulsi team up too. I think that for them, if they're a unified front, that's the best chance we have at getting out of a primary.
Absolutely.
So I haven't actually endorsed anybody, but I'm hoping Bernie and Tulsi team up, and that's what happens. And I think that, to the point about Elizabeth Warren, I think that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's not going to be on the same debate stage as Bernie in the first round, right?
And I'm sure that's
by
an
design.
accident.
Yeah, right. No, that's by design. They want her to look like the other lefty. And
yeah, exactly, because he'd call her ass out, like, look, if you take corporate money and you walk back Medicare for all, you are not a progressive. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, and her green military?
Oh my God.
What are they going to paint?
Imperials.
green leaves on her bombs? Is that what they're going to do? Like,
it's sustainable confetti that goes out.
Okay.
It's like we should just paint rainbows on, bombs and drones and everything.
That'll feel
And it's
good.
pretty.
Yeah, it's great. They're gonna have a green military under President Warren.
Yeah.
It's funny how they're already trying to maneuver and cheat in this primary. What they want to do, obviously, is they're going to try to push it. So that's why there's 58 candidates running, and they're all running in states where Bernie, big states that he could win. I mean, look, it's Beto's in Texas. I mean, like California. Warren is in Massachusetts. I mean, it's so they're really doing anything that they can to push it to a second ballot, because then they know that they got the super delegates there to fuck them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I think what I'm hoping is that
we have to be so loud they can't cheat again.
Yes.
We have to be just so fucking loud that they can't cheat again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's key.
I'm not saying that's an easy feat, but
I mean, I'd love to see Tulsi as the nominee. I don't know that she has enough support, like enough people know who she is. Bernie is so well known, and he's fine-tuned his speech. He just I haven't seen it yet, but I was told by Jeff Epstein, who's here, that he gave this really great democratic socialist speech that's pretty groundbreaking. So I'm hoping that, Tulsi, what happens in these primaries, candidates run out of money.
Yeah.
They just start running out of money. You just can't keep up this pace. You need to be raising tens of millions of dollars, and if you can't do that, it's over. So as they start falling off, and they will, in the next 6 months, we're going to probably lose 3 or 4 candidates for sure. Hopefully.
we lost Howard Schultz.
Oh,
no! Somebody that's either a friend or family member loved him enough to have an intervention.
I
think his dog died is what happened.
He's suspended.
I think honestly, to reach the second round for superdelegates, that less people are going to drop off, so they can.
Well, yeah, it's all to stifle Bernie. I mean, people were not understanding the first time. They're like, oh, they cut superdelegates. I'm like, no, read the article. All they're doing is moving it to the second round so that look, fucking Hicklehopper had Bernie won his state, and he gave his superdelegate to Hillary. Like, this is a same
While
shit
he
that's
was
gonna
watching
happen.
a porn with his mom.
Absolutely.
That was deep, yo.
I love how savage Bernie is getting lately, though. His tweets are freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I really want Bernie to get savage to the point that the next time Hicklehopper calls him out on Twitter, I want him to be like, yeah, well, you watch porn with your mom. Fuck you. I don't think it's gonna get that far, but did you guys see Hickenlooper and him, Hickenlooper literally went in Bernie's comments and was posting, about how bad socialism is.
Hickenlooper is the guy that there's a video of him saying he would get. Well, there's those, but there's the video of somebody from the Sunrise Movement, and in front of his at a rally or whatever, Hickenlooper said that he would sign a no oil money pledge. I'll do that, and everyone cheers. And then the Sunrise Movement kid goes to him and says, will you sign this? And he's like, oh, there's no way I'll sign it. I can't wait if I don't take the money. Literally says it. So there's this hidden video showing who Hickenlooper really is.
And the oil shot up while he was.
Well, him and Delaney, all they're known for is just saying dumb things and getting booed.
Yeah.
And they're still, hanging on. I think it's only a matter of time for both of them. I think John Delaney might be the biggest laughingstock in American politics, and it's quite a bar. It is quite a bar. But I think he actually somehow managed that. I will tweet that guy, and a bunch of other people do it too, and we hijack all of his threads. We get more likes
Oh, yeah.
than he does. Because he's
Great
that
ratio.
pathetic. And it's like, okay, a comedian hijacks your thread 5 times in a row, and you think you're qualified to lead a country.
Yeah.
Like, you're not qualified to be on social media, dude. You gotta take a step down.
# delete your account. Yeah, it's crazy to see the way he's attacking socialism, and when they say socialism, they mean Bernie. No other candidate running in presidential, in the presidential campaign has said they are a socialist, democratic socialist, whatever. Tulsi was asked. She declined to answer. So Bernie is the only one. So don't get it twisted. When they say socialism, they mean Bernie. As far as Warren, she really, like, I wish I could
She's a
barf
capitalist
on
to her
her.
arms.
Yeah, like, I really want to barf on her. Like, if she comes to Philly, I'm
sure.
coming here. Yeah, because I can't get in trouble.
That'll
then.
be, hey, I got something for you. Hold on.
Hey.
Barkeep.
You know the green imperialism? Blech. Take that. I think she's just like the fakest person ever, and I am noticing people falling for it. Do you guys see it?
Well,
It's
yeah,
so
because
sad.
the neoliberals are still caught up in the identity politics of everything, and it's just like, you know, like, we need a woman. Great. And I'm always like, have you heard about Tulsi? And they're like, oh, isn't she an Assad apologist? And I'm like, yeah, no, I wouldn't. So people are still getting caught up in that, and the fact that I still hear people like, you know, this fucking ridiculous narrative of don't be critical of the too critical of the fuck you. This is what a primary is about.
They mean just don't be critical of the corporate Dems.
Well, yeah, and I'm not pledging my vote to the Democratic Party 18 months from now. If they fuck Bernie again and they put Biden or
Well, because when you do something like that, you're sending them the message of, hey, if you cheat again, I'm fine.
Yep.
I'm fine. You can cheat
Exactly.
on me again.
That's
Well,
like
you enable that
That's a
shit.
dangerous message to send.
Let's subvert
Exactly.
it again.
They, you know, and my bio on Twitter specifically says proud independent. It says that, but I always get people trolling my page like, you're hurting the Democratic Party by saying this. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not a Democrat. I don't care.
They have to do
Well, you
this
can
crazy.
just mirror my Twitter bio. Mine just says douchestack Magoo and whatever bothers me.
Well, this like, I don't know, I cling to this very, I guess, radical, insane notion that the Democratic Party actually has to earn my vote. I know.
Whoa.
Oh, I know.
Audible gasps,
Everyone
you guys.
wants to get up and leave now.
You think this is a democracy or
Yeah,
something?
like,
Yeah,
fuck that.
they have to earn my vote. They don't just get it because they are a millimeter to the left of the Republican Party, which has been what the Clintons have done for the better part of 25 years. So I'm just, I'm done, and I will vote third party again. I say that to your viewers and to God and whoever else. I will absolutely vote third party if they fuck over the progressives. If they put some corporate Democratic candidate up there, I will not. I will do what I did in 16 and hope that party fucking burns to the ground. That's my,
Amen.
if you're asking what my endorsement is, that's it. I'm endorsing a real progressive, whoever it is, and I will not endorse a fake one, and I will not endorse a half measure, because let me tell you something about climate incrementalism, a middle ground policy, a green military, just as dangerous as climate denial.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if they then the planet will collapse in 2045 instead of 2050 if we have Joe Biden or Liz Warren's bullshit. Fuck that. We're on borrowed time, man. We got to go right now.
If Bernie or someone like Bernie does not get into the White House in 2020, I think we have way bigger problems.
Yeah.
4 more years of Trump.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
full-
That's a great point. If we don't have a real progressive that is pushing a real Green New Deal, then
Same thing all over again.
And if they shove a corporatist down our throats, that corporatist will lose anyway.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, that's why when everyone says, like, but Trump, I'm like, look, we don't disagree that Trump's awful. He's terrible.
Yeah.
But this incremental bullshit will lose to him anyway. And it's not progressives' fault when it does. They're going to lose anyway because you can't just give people something to vote against. You need to give them something to vote for.
And Warren's, Warren's an example of that. If she went on the debate stage with Trump, he would fucking destroy her. Why? Because he was xenophobic, racist, a total piece of shit, and she capitulated to that by saying, yeah, she's like, oh wait, I'll prove you're wrong, and it came back disastrous, and she just looked like she had no backbone because what you say is, fuck you, you don't know me, this is my history, I don't owe you shit. But instead she's like, okay, I'll get a DNA test. And, I mean...
she didn't go to Standing Rock.
She didn't even say anything.
She's so
about
native.
Standing
Why
Rock.
wasn't she at Standing Rock? Like,
She might have wagged her finger into a mirror. We're not sure. Let's give a little bit of credit where it's
That's
due.
right. You're right.
She might have been like, this makes me, and then Obama was like, both sides. And she's like, you're right.
Let's see how it plays out. That was great. And she said, I posted, you guys gotta follow me on Twitter because I post some crazy stuff. Like, Warren did an interview where she was like, my grandfather said that I'm Cherokee because I have very high cheekbones. Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
I missed this.
Like, she's a mess. And one of my biggest concerns is her walking back Medicare for all as someone with Medicare
I was very
needs.
disappointed by that. I was very disappointed because, like, I've tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. I do think compared to the other corporatists, she's not as terrible as they are, but her sincerity is rightfully very, very questioned. And now that she backed out on Medicare for all, it's like, well, how can you take anything seriously at this point?
Absolutely.
And I think that her likability is an issue, and I don't think she could beat Trump.
No.
She can't be Trump, and
it's
on the
like-
off chance she could, she would just do that same bullshit that the Democrats do. Like, she wouldn't pass anything and blame it on the obstructionist Republicans when in fact, no, like Obama had when he had the House and the Senate.
Yes.
And voted to keep Bush's tax break. Like, she will just do that crap all the time, but the neoliberals will go, yay, first female president. And it's like, man, I'd love to see a female president if they're a fucking progressive. I only want a real progressive. I wish if Nina Turner would run, I would back that woman in a heartbeat. I would be all about Nina Turner.
Yeah, I would love to.
She would eat fucking Trump's lunch in a debate. She would fucking eat his lunch, man.
Oh, I'd love to see her Warren.
Oh God! I'd love to see her go through Biden and Warren. I'd love to see Nina Turner just fucking take them apart. But she doesn't want to run, so it's like, okay.
Did you guys see, I actually met Nina again last month, and I was like, Nina, and she came over, and I go, we're burn and turn 2020, just so you know. Tell Bernie, we're burn and turn. And she goes, burn and turn? Oh! And I was like, oh my God! Ah!
Maybe that made her interested in the gig.
I know. I was like, we want
what I've
you,
heard is
please.
she does not want that gig. Which and maybe she's. I mean, it's up to her to decide when she's ready. That's okay. I mean, I would love to vote for her tomorrow, but maybe burn and turn swayed her.
Yeah.
I mean, if he named her his VP, lights out.
Lights
out. They
on.
fucking crush. Because
Imagine her debating Pence.
Oh
my God.
That almost wouldn't be fair.
It wouldn't be fair.
Like,
She'd be like, you can't shock the black out of me.
She's just
You know
like,
what I mean?
boom, over.
My dream is Tulsi's Secretary of State.
Yes.
That
If you
would
had
also be
Bernie
a cool
and
setup,
Nina
yeah.
as VP and Tulsi as Secretary of State.
Pence couldn't debate her without his wife being on stage.
Oh, that's
She'd have to be in between. You'd have to.
Well, I think the one bummer is that unless, I mean, this is anything but a typical race, but technically, the candidates don't announce who their VP is until the convention.
Mm-hmm.
That's my fear. So yeah, maybe Tulsi drops. That doesn't mean she's going to be his VP or his.
They could pressure Bernie into doing something. If he were to get it, they could say, "Hey, Bernie, you got it, but not Tulsi." Anyone
Right,
but Tulsi.
absolutely.
Maybe Warren or Biden, but not
Absolutely.
Tulsi. That'd be a
And-
problem.
Yes,
That-
they could absolutely do that.
Yeah, that's a
Good
fear.
He probably would bite on that too, because he really wants to change that party so badly, and he probably would take that bait as well.
You know what I wish he would do, though? I wish he would do what FDR did when they tried to pull that bullshit with him. I wish he would do that. In such a scenario, I wish he would just get up there and just be like, they want me to do this. What do you want me to do? America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is his last chance, and he knows that. So he needs to, he has to go hard this time. He has to. And to anyone watching, I know I've said this before, but I went to Occupy DNC for 6 days last time. I will be in Milwaukee. I will be there. There is no question. I don't care if I have to hitchhike. I'm going because I already know I'm going to have something to protest, regardless of how it turns out.
No,
I
you'll
know.
have something to do one of the nights because we're planning on having a progressive comedy tour there.
Yeah, we've already been talking about that. We got to set up some shows around Milwaukee.
Yeah.
For
Yes.
sure.
Yes. Yeah, it should be interesting. One of the things that Warren came out with the day that Bernie gave his democratic socialism speech, which was absolutely his best speech ever, ever. Even people who don't like him are praising him for that speech. Except Alexandria, who didn't even bother to do a single tweet about it. But anyway.
She's been noticeably silent about any sort of endorsements, and I'm wondering what that is about.
I think she's going to endorse Warren. She's been doing videos with Warren that are so cutesy. Have you seen those? They were, her and Warren, Alexandra and Warren literally did a video about fucking, what's that show called?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. They did, and they were like, no way! Oh my god, I thought so-and-so was gonna die. Oh my god! And stuff, and then they did a couple other ones. Like, it was so gross. So gross. And
Like BFF.
yeah, like,
Wow.
and, you know, I understand wanting to keep allies and stuff, but I don't think she's gonna endorse Bernie. I don't, and people are gonna have a really rude awakening.
I'll bet you money she endorses Bernie.
Uh-oh.
You really think so?
Uh-oh.
$20. $20.
Jeff,
Oh.
Jeff Epstein, why do you think AOC will endorse Bernie?
I just have faith that she pretty much owes her existence and her fame to Bernie.
She does, but
And
that doesn't mean she'll
I believe
capitalize on it.
I just have faith that she is going to be endorsing Bernie, and she will absolutely not endorse Warren.
I wanna push
but
back.
we are betting $20
$20. You guys heard it.
because
$20.
well, it's
$20.
anyway. So
You know what you should do? You should bet $27.
I'll bet you some change and some pocket lint that she actually endorses Hickenlooper.
She'll probably.
You have an opinion on this.
I would
Yeah.
feel incredibly betrayed
So would
if
I.
she did not
Of
endorse
course.
Bernie.
But what do you think,
No, see,
Travel
like, I
Carly?
feel like the fact that, like, progressives... Hold on. So, like, progressives don't owe other progressives shit. Like, people,
Speak
like,
up, Mama.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm quiet. Progressives don't owe other progressives shit. And if you consider Warren a progressive, I don't. But, like, some people think that I know that, like Warren over Bernie I think that I'm not wording anything correctly now. What I'm trying to say regarding AOC and endorsing Bernie is AOC doesn't owe Bernie anything because she endorsed him in 2016 and wasn't an advocate for him in 2016. She doesn't owe him any support for 2020, and that's what some people say. Likewise, Bernie doesn't owe AOC anything. So I think going into 2020, progressives have to, like, think about everything. So AOC is going to endorse Bernie or Warren, or maybe we'll see, maybe not. But I just don't think she's made up her mind yet.
I think I'm honestly worried. I think that she has been just she has made some choices, especially recently, that are pretty gross.
Yes.
And not progressive. So like giving yourself a raise the other day. What the fuck was that?
She did say, a concrete reason. She did say specifically who you're going to endorse, someone who supports Medicare for all.
Yeah,
So there's
but
that.
some people still convince themselves that that Warren does, even though she doesn't. There's so much rationalization on social media. As Bernie supporters, who do you guys think is our biggest threat?
Russia.
Well, yeah.
Clearly.
Have you
read the Mueller report?
I think, like, I think it's too early to say because they're gonna, I guess the actual answer is the Democratic establishment.
Yeah.
Because I think a real progressive would beat Trump. I
Yes.
believe that full-heartedly. A real progressive would beat Trump. A real progressive would have beat him in 2016. Bernie would have beat him in 2016.
Absolutely.
But you know, the micro answer as far as a candidate, I think it's too early to tell because they still have a lot of cycles to shove something down our throat and see what sticks.
Yeah, we've already seen. There's
Kamala's going to get another run.
They push
Beto
for-
might get another run. You know,
Mayor
just go in
Pete.
shifts.
They keep
Mayor
keep
Pete.
finding a new corporate someone with that's cloaked in some kind of identity politics distraction from who they really are. Mayor Pete is like no one's talking about. Oh, he's from the intelligence community.
Right.
No one's talking about that. So I agree with Ron. The threat is the corporate Democrats that control that party, because they're going to find whomever and whatever they can to stop. And they're well aware of the fact. They saw that Bernie town hall. They know they're looking at polls of like Fox viewers going, Bernie.
Yeah, that was a town hall.
You know, that town hall, Bernie was the smartest thing anyone could have done, because he went right at the Fox people, went right at him.
And they said, tell not to. Don't do that. Don't go on Fox News. Fox News is the fault, but you don't want to go there. You go there to prove people, hey, I can actually get these people to vote for me. And why wouldn't you want to do that? Because you go on different people's opinions, shows to try to convince them that you're correct.
Yeah.
You don't say no to Fox News because there's info. You say, oh, I'm going to go on that. I'm going to you're wrong. Here's why immigration isn't what you say it is. Here's why black people wrong what you say they are. You're wrong by everything. Here's why you need to be anti-war. And that's what you do. That's what you do. You
He
get all
blew
the
him
time.
up. He blew it. It was such
Standing ovation.
I know.
He takes
Yeah,
because just like you said, he takes that xenophobia and that hatred and he gently moves it and points it to. He changes
A
it
real
to
policy.
He changes it to take this anger and focus it to the proper place.
Yeah, I
The billionaires.
belong.
Yeah, that's what he does.
But on the other hand,
He respects
even
their
FDR
himself
anger. Said, when they got to the Belgian and German border in France, and FDR himself was like, you know what, we don't need to go into Germany because it's just going to reinforce, it'll just be giving a platform to their racism and fascism, and that's why we didn't invade Germany in the Second World War, because we don't go into their territory.
We also supported them.
Mhm.
In the Second
And
World War.
not only that, but we brought Nazis into the CIA.
They held a Madison
NASA.
Square Garden rally.
And NASA.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So one of the things that that is something we definitely have to be concerned about. Warren said that she would not go on to Fox News, and she made a really demeaning statement about anyone who would go, which obviously was about Bernie. My question is, how do you guys think that someone running against 24 candidates in one party, by not reaching out to everyone, how are you going to win?
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, you're not. I mean, that Warren doing that's a gift to Bernie.
Mhm.
That's a gift, because Bernie just went, hey, red state voters. I mean, if Bernie gets the nomination, I think he's going to get an electoral landslide.
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, because he will go into those red states and he will, I'm going to give you Medicare for all. I'm going to give you student debt forgiveness. And they're going to go, oh, okay, yeah, you got it. And because he's going to say, I'm not as crazy as the Trump guy that you voted for. The diehard, they're hard right. Those folks aren't going to leave Trump. But there was a lot of people, the Reagan Republicans, who voted for Trump as the lesser of two evils, because they're just like, no way on another Clinton. Forget it. Those people you're going to be able to reason with. Working class people who are like, yeah, Trump's a fucking jackass, but I voted for him. But you telling me you're going to give me free health care? You're going to give me a job? Maybe there is something to this climate change. Fox News tells me it isn't real, but you're going to give me a $30 an hour union gig making a fucking solar panel? I'm in, baby. I'm in. That's what he'll do. I mean, I honestly is why I'm cautiously optimistic, because if he gets the nomination, he will crush. And then Jeff and I have talked about this. And then with I believe he's Trojan horsing MMT to pay for the Green New Deal, and then it's like, holy shit, we can have this transformation where in 5 to 10 years we are off of oil. We are this newly transformed country. There's technology we haven't even thought of yet that's invented. So I don't know. That's why I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't want to went off on a crazy tangent. But
One of the
Hold
problems
on, you guys. I'm sorry. I just want to, because they can't see or hear like any of you guys. And I don't want to keep you guys much longer.
Yes, we have a train to catch in the morning.
Yeah. So
Well, so I think what Warren did was monumentally stupid. Fox News thing. And this has come from someone, I don't disagree that Fox News is terrible. I think that goes without saying. CNN is also terrible.
Exactly.
MSNBC is also terrible. And a lot of you probably already know how I feel about this. I think our media structure in the United States straight up shouldn't be legal. The fact that we've given away news and information to corporations with no strings attached and no type of accountability. I mean, other media structures don't have that. It should not happen. Like, it just straight up shouldn't happen. Because we don't have a news structure. We have a public relations structure. That's what we have. We literally don't have a news structure. And I don't know of any other... I mean, that's kind of repulsive that a pseudo-democratic experiment doesn't have a news structure. But that being said, this is what we have. That's just the reality of it. And if you're trying to get into office, you're going to say, oh, I'm not going to go on this huge platform that most people see as news and watch, and I'm going to thumb my nose at that? Like, what do you think you're doing? You're not proving anything to anybody, and that was just a insanely small, cowardly thing that she did.
And you can't be you can't be president of half the country.
Exactly.
You have to be president of the whole country. And if a large portion of the country watches, I mean, that you have to go to them, and it just shows. It just showed, again, going back to the Bernie town hall, it just shows how smart he is and how he's... The Democrats are still thinking they're still playing this playbook from the 90s.
Yeah.
And they're just getting worked. And so I hope they get... I'm cautiously optimistic that it's going to be enough people are going to overwhelm this, and enough people have woken up to the lies of this, and are going to overwhelm, and Bernie's going to win in the first ballot, and then that's
Whisper of a dream.
I mean, that's our only shot, though.
I will go to
maybe
church.
I'm waiting on a unicorn. I don't know. But,
Like, I literally
You just want
will go
instant
to-
abs.
yeah.
You want a free pony.
But,
Yeah.
Do you have an impeachment standpoint?
Oh, Vermin Supreme.
Do I have an impeachment standpoint?
Vermin came on my show.
Yeah, I'm interested.
I honestly, I kind of agree with the initial response Bernie gave. I feel that it's a huge distraction from things which are important, which are actually causing austerity and things like that. And really all it is to rationalize the fact that they spent 3 years obsessing over Russiagate, and now they want to, validate all the time, money, resources, obsession that they gave. What do you guys think?
I think, it's a 3-year distraction. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's a 3 years we should have been, the news cycle should have been and should be dominated by the climate collapse. Like, we needed to address the climate collapse as though there's a meteor coming to this planet that is going to end life on Earth. That's how severe this is, and instead we're talking about Russia and Mueller and Stormy Daniels and whatever fucking bullshit of the day is. It's like, it's just goddamn TMZ.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just as ridiculous as who's dating who and who broke up with what, and somebody...
It's not just a distraction, it is a tool in preparation for Bernie and Assange.
What is, do you guys have a final thought?
Biden 2020! No.
Oh, I'm sorry, he had to leave.
Biden 2020, I love sniffing your hair. No, I think the thing I say is I think these are great discussions to have as progressives, and I think our job is to get our, Democratic establishment neoliberal friends to wake up to the fact that having an actual primary is a good thing, and do not pledge your votes. Like wake them up to this fact. Like, someone was like, "Oh, Graham," but they were. So I was arguing with somebody on Twitter. They were justifying invading Iran, and I didn't yell or scream. I just stuck to the facts, and by the end of it, they had changed their mind. Because they weren't unaware. They don't know what we've been doing there since '50. So we need to make them aware of all the stuff Obama did. That everyone's like, oh, Trump is so bad, he's putting people in cages. Obama built those cages. He deported 2 million. Just stick to the facts. Let go of the emotion, which I know is hard, but stick to the facts to wake people up, because we have a year to kind of get this to where we could get, like Bernie, the nomination, and his VP hopefully will be somebody like Nina or Tulsi, and then we have a shot at real change.
I think that we really need to mobilize outside of electoral politics big time. We need mass movements. We need organized coalitions in neighborhoods and communities. We need people running for city council, for mayor, for school board. We need people having alliances with plans. And that's easier said than done. And let's be honest, our numbers still aren't as high as we would like. But we got to keep at it because that's the only way. I mean, electoral politics alone is not going to get us out of this mess. I mean, even if Bernie is our next president, which I hope he is, very much so, but they're going to try to stop him from getting done a lot of the stuff he wants to get done. If we're not loud as hell and we're not out there, we're not going to get any of this stuff. I mean, think about FDR. FDR actually wasn't all that much of a progressive, really. He was more a centrist who was just operating the only way you want a centrist to operate, afraid of the people telling them their job is over. We want someone, and Bernie genuinely does actually want to do the right thing. So it'd be great if he felt like, hey, the people are right there behind me, and if I don't do the right thing, which is what I want to do, they're going to be really fucking pissed.
Look at the teacher strikes in all those states.
Yeah.
Many of the red states are successful.
Yeah.
Look at what the Yellow Vests are doing in France.
Yeah.
Look at Extinction Rebellion. Look at the air traffic controllers that got the the government shutdown to end because they're like, we're going to end flights. We're going to end air travel in the U.S.
Yeah.
So we need to start looking like that. These pre-existing organizations and just like how effective it's working. All of those teacher strikes, they won.
Google what Gail McLaughlin did in Richmond, California.
Yes.
Can you say the
She
bus
had an
example?
alliance. She sent Chevron packing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's also the Tokyo bus driver strike. I love bringing this up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
what
yes.
the Tokyo bus drivers did, they were having a labor negotiation. What the Tokyo bus drivers did, they didn't shut down the buses because that wouldn't hurt those in power. That would hurt the citizens. So they kept the buses running, and one day they said everybody rides for free. So the owners, the oligarchs, the billionaires who run the bus company, because it's a private bus company, they didn't make millions of dollars that day. Everybody got to work and school on time. It's going to take stuff. That's what Ron's talking about. That is outside of electoral politics, and that gets changed up.
That's civil disobedience.
That's civil disobedience.
Absolutely.
Non-violent, peaceful resistance. Nobody got hurt except the fucking billionaires' wallets.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that as progressives, it's really our duty, lack of a better term, to really fight like crazy for those who need us to fight for them. The beautiful thing about progressives is we have empathy. We don't need to, be in need of these things we fight for to actually care for people who do need it. So I think you guys have an amazing point that we all just have to get active. Bernie has over 1 million volunteers signed up right now. Over 1 million.
15 in this very room.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I have my Bernie buttons, and everyone walking in is like, I love your buttons. I'm like, yes, my people. It's freaking awesome. But I want to thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
I love having both of you and having, my man, which is fucking amazing.
Thanks for all your help at the show tonight.
Thanks, Joy.
Joy introduced the show. She did a great
And then
job.
I fell.
She fell.
She
was
took
okay.
one for the team.
She
She
did.
really,
She
she's
did.
a warrior.
She did.
I don't want to see my knees when wait. You guys know what I mean. That's, I didn't mean it that way this time. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Monday I have a show at 9 p.m. with a candidate who is a huge Bernie supporter, and I am an awful person and cannot think of his name. But he's amazing. So tune in Monday night. Thank you guys
Bernie,
so much.
awesome guy. That's his name.
He doesn't talk like this though.
Is that Eastern time?
Yep, Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys so much for watching, and check out these guys' websites, their shows, and their next tour dates. Thanks, guys. Much love.